Okay, we are here. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, is it cold where you are? It is cold here. It is cold here in Connecticut. Holy cow. Um, all right, so I'm just waiting. Oh, good. All right, so we got the confirmation that we are actually live. Good morning. All right, so it's Tuesday, and Tuesday means a brand new episode of the Small Biz Mama podcast. And so on Tuesdays, I come in here and we talk a little bit about the episode, and I give you guys some tips on um, just kind of, it's funny because I try to keep the podcast to, 15 to 30 minutes. And sometimes there's so much more that I want to say. And so these lives kind of give me the opportunity to do that. It also gives me the opportunity to answer a lot of your questions. And so I love doing these lives for you guys. Okay, so one thing that I keep seeing come up like over and over again, whether it's when I'm counseling small business owners or I'm working with the women in bookkeeper training school, or I'm just kind of coming across people in general. One of the things that I see a lot is that people are trying to do the really, really hard things without putting the foundation in place to be able to do them. And so let me give you an example. Hey Tammy, good morning. Um, so people come to me and say, okay, so I'm not getting any clients. I'm not making traction in my business. And I say, okay, well tell me what you're doing. Tell me what your marketing looks like. And I say, hey Key, good morning. Um, they say, okay, well, I'm posting on Facebook, like on my page once a week, and I'm not getting any leads. I say, okay, well, are you doing networking on LinkedIn? Are you doing networking on Facebook? Are you going out? Like, we have like all these things in bookkeeper training school that we tell you to do for your marketing. Are you making connections? Are you helping people in groups? Are you, becoming known in any groups? You know who your ideal customer is? Have you done all the things? And they say, well, no. And I said, all right, well, who's your ideal customer? They're like, oh, I don't know. I didn't do that part. That was too basic. I'm like, okay, well, you can't know where your people hang out if you don't know who you're going to go talk to, right? So that's kind of like a tenant, and I give everybody in bookkeeper training school a hard time on that one. But it's really true, right? If you don't know who you're supposed to be talking to, it's really hard to go find them, right? And and the same thing goes for our mental well-being. Okay, so this week's podcast episode is spring cleaning for your mind, right? And I know that most of you've got too much stuff you're trying to manage in your head. You've got, all the things that you want to do. And so people come to me and they go, okay, Kristen, I want to be more productive. I want to get more done. I want to have the energy to work on my business. And I say, okay, great. That's awesome. Okay. So how much sleep are you getting? And they're like, oh, no. I need like the advanced stuff. I need like the super tricks. And I'm like, okay, how much sleep are you getting? Because honestly, for me, like if I go through and I'm like, okay, I'm not being productive. How much sleep did I get last night? How much water am I drinking? Right? I know it seems like it's really like it's too basic. Like no, those things can't work. I need the super advanced things. I need to take hundreds of dollars worth of supplements. I need to do all of these mind tricks and things like that. Honestly, okay, if you don't have the basics down, none of the other stuff you do is going to matter. I think we think that there's like all these like crazy hacks out there and we can bend, physics and we can bend our body's natural needs and we can just ignore those things and do whatever we want. And that is not the case. That's not how this life works. Okay? And so if you do not have the basics down, it doesn't matter what else you do. Okay. And so I want to talk about, it's funny because these keep coming up like over and over and over again in my life this week. Um, which means that I probably need to be doing more of it. So I'm going to talk about three things that if you're not doing, if you don't have these basics down, that you need to start with. Okay. And I talk about these in depth in the podcast episode. So I'm just going to mention them here and I'm going to send you the podcast. The first one is sleep. Okay. You have to get sleep. If if you are having trouble with your blood sugar, your weight, your energy levels, your mood, your attitude, if you're having trouble with depression, if you're having trouble with anxiety, the number one thing that you should try is more sleep. And I know that you're like, okay, Kristen, this is too basic. This is not right. I want to grow a business. Like I want to make more money for my family. I want to do all these things and you're talking about sleep. Okay? Folks, if you talk to if you talk to or read the writings of very very successful entrepreneurs, those that not the ones that like made a whole bunch of money and then failed, not the ones who made a whole bunch of money and then went bankrupt, the ones who have sustained success over the long term. Okay, and I'm talking about folks like Jeff Bezos from Amazon, Bill Gates from Microsoft. If you talk Ariana Huffington, she's a huge proponent of sleep. Like she actually left Huffington Post to talk about sleep. She thought it was that important. Okay. There's so much that happens when you sleep. Okay. This is where your body pushes out toxins. This is where you burn fat. This is where your brain repairs itself. This is where your body repairs itself. This is where your body fights inflammation. This is where you retain long-term knowledge. This is like when you want to learn things. Okay, like I know those of you in bookkeeper training school, some of you come to me like I watch the stuff and it's not sinking in. The first thing I ask is how much sleep you're getting. Okay, because it is critically important for many systems in your body to make sure you get enough sleep. It just is. It just is. And there's no way to like hack around that. Like we've not found a way to get our brains to heal themselves in any other state. And I think this is why we have major problems with Alzheimer's and dementia in our country, is because we are not taking care of our bodies the way that we need to. Okay. So sleep is critically important. The other thing you need to do is you need to hydrate. Okay. You'll notice like I bought a new water bottle because like I just like changing up my water bottle. I kind of get bored with it every once in a while. So I got this one's 32 ounces. So I'm trying to drink 2 of these a day. And so I'm trying to get better about that. And then, I'll drink tea in the afternoon. Tea that typically doesn't have any caffeine. I do drink my coffee in the morning, and that's what I drink. Like that's it. That's my thing. So, but again, for your body, in order for your brain to be able to flush out the toxins when you sleep, in order to be able to get your weight loss moving, make sure your joints have, the lubrication that they need. I mean, honestly, it's funny. It's like sleep and water. And people go, Kristen, that's too basic. I need something more complicated than that. Let's master the sleep and the water. Okay. And it's funny because like literally like this follows me around kind of all over this week. Since I recorded the episode last week. It's just funny how like everywhere, hydrate, sleep, hydrate, sleep, hydrate, sleep. And I know you guys aren't getting enough. So a lot of people ask me, and then the third one is moving. Okay. Even if you just get up for, for short periods of time every hour and just kind of like stretch out, move your body. Because the problem is that if we're not moving our bodies, we start to lose range of motion. We start to feel stiff. We get pain. And so, just moving around, stretching everything out. I know a lot of us, we sit at our desk for a long period of time like this, right? when you're typing. And so you get all this tension in your neck and your shoulders and in, the small of your back, because we don't sit against our chairs properly, which I'm now sitting back on my chair like I'm supposed to. See, I've said this before. I do this for me as much as I do this for you guys. Because it's a good reminder, it makes me think about the things that I should be doing, so that I can relay them to you. So, I know that a lot of you are thinking, like, I don't have the time to do this. I don't have time to move. I don't have time to sleep. I don't have time to do all these things because there's so many things I have to do. And so, and I get it. Trust me. I have the days, I was looking at today. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get moving in. Right? I just don't know how I'm going to get that in. So here's what I do. I find that for me, it's really hard to get in like a 30-minute walk anymore, right? Because I'm so busy. But what I can do is I can get in 3 10-minute walks, or I can get in 6 5-minute walks. And so what I'll do is um I will set a timer like 3 times a day, okay? Um and then I'll set an alarm 3 times a day and I'll just walk for 10 minutes. I don't care if I will walk all the way around the house. I will, if I can, I will walk around like the outside of the house. Um, if it's Jeff's time to watch Eric, I'll take a loop around the neighborhood that takes me about 10 minutes to do. Okay? Just to get some movement in. If I can't do that, I will go play. I've got a video game for Switch that's a movement game. If I can't do that, I'll put on some music and I'll dance for 10 minutes. Find your thing, whatever you can do. Like, we can all turn on music with our kids and dance for 10 minutes, right? Right? Do you do that? Am I the only one that does that? We have dinner dance party, right? We're making dinner and we'll put on music and we dance. Um, there are times you can do this where, um, it doesn't, I think a lot of times we think like we can't do these things unless it's all in, right? So a lot of you are like, well, I can't sleep for 8 hours, because I have so much going on. Okay, well, if you're currently sleeping for 5, could we try for 5.5? Right? Could we maybe, 5 hours and 15 minutes? Um, I really, really believe that we cannot afford not to do these things. I know that when I don't sleep enough, I am not as productive. I'm not as focused. I have a lot, like, I was totally distractible. I did not get enough sleep over the weekend. And I've totally been distractible the last 2 days. Okay. Um, I just I just have a really hard time focusing when I don't get enough sleep. And so I know that everything takes longer, right? So if I say instead, okay, so instead of me losing an hour during the day because I'm so unfocused and I'm bouncing all over the place and I find myself on Facebook and I don't even know it, um, if I could go to sleep an hour earlier and recharge a little bit, I'll get a lot more done tomorrow. And if you allow yourself to do that, you're going to feel so much better. Okay. It's kind of like the hydration thing. I hate water. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of water either, I'll tell you. So what I've started doing, and I actually like it, so I get this stuff that I put in my water. It's called Remag and Remite. And it's the minerals that you need and the magnesium that you need. And you put a little bit of salt in it, which helps with the absorption. And it makes the water taste so much better. But if you need to put something in your water, put something in your water. You can put fruit in your water. You can put lemon in your water. You can drink like herbal teas are great. Yeah, I try to avoid sugar in my water just because I was pre-diabetic years and years and years ago. Um, like back at like 11 years ago. I know it sounds like forever, right? Years back long ago before the trees were green. I don't know. See, lack of sleep. This is what happens. So, but you can put stuff in your water. I just try to avoid sugar in mine, and that might help. Okay, but there's lots and lots of things that you know, we make things so complicated. Jasmine says definitely need to hear this. Uh, just those things you feel like. Yeah, I know. But we easily forget how these small, simple things make a big impact. Thank you for bringing it back to the basics. Oh, you're welcome. I'm a really big believer that, you know, whether it's as individuals or as a society, like if our basic needs are not met, right, we can't achieve all of the great things that we should be achieving. And so I know a lot of you guys are struggling because you're not meeting your basic needs. So you're like, okay, I got to go out there and market myself, and I'm tired and I feel like crap. And, you know, I have issues, with the way that I look, and I'm just not happy with me, right? And then you're saying, I'm going to go out and I'm going to try to market myself when I feel like crap. That's really, really hard. That's really hard to do. And so if we're not willing to take some time to say, you know what, I'm going to get my sleep. I'm going to hydrate. Okay. I'm going to move around. Because think about what all these things are going to do, right? So sleep is going to repair your mind. It's going to help you focus. Hydrating is going to flush all the toxins and crap out of your body, right? And you're going to feel better when you're hydrated. Your muscles are going to feel better. Moving releases endorphins and all these great chemicals in your body that make you feel better about yourself. If you do just those three things, your marketing is going to be so much better, right? Because your body's going to feel better, your brain's going to feel better, you're going to feel better about yourself. If you just do those three things, you're going to feel more comfortable going out and talking to people. You're going to feel better going out and, contributing in groups. But good God, if you're not willing to take care of yourselves, I know there's a voice in the back of your head going, and how am I going to manage clients? Why bother? Right? Basics. Basics, basics, basics. Okay? Because this is what's going to get you into the right headspace in order to go out there and help the world. Okay, but you can't help the world if you won't help you first. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. If you have not listened to this week's episode of the podcast, you can click on the link in the description of this video. It'll bring you right to the show notes for this episode, and you can check out all the other episodes. And hey, do me a favor. Listen, if you listen to the podcast, can you take a screenshot and tag me? So that way we know that you're listening, and we appreciate those shout outs that you do. All right. So thank you so much. I'll be back again on Thursday morning, same time, to talk more about, some of the mind work that you can do to help help your business be more, productive and successful, and you to be more productive and successful. All right. I will talk to you guys soon. Take care. Bye.